Operation Barbarossa wasn't just a battle, it was a clash of giant ideas. Picture two powerful leaders, Hitler and Stalin, playing the ultimate chess game with real armies. Set in 1941, this high-stakes game wasn't just about land, it was about a whole way of thinking. After World War I, Germany faced tough times. The Treaty of Versailles, a peace agreement signed by countries involved in the war, placed heavy penalties on Germany. This made many Germans feel embarrassed and unhappy. Into this mix of sadness and anger, a man named Adolf Hitler stepped in. Imagine someone who can lead an entire orchestra, making every instrument play together in perfect harmony. That's how Hitler led the German people. He had a gift for speaking and promised to bring back Germany's lost pride and power. To help spread his ideas, Hitler had a team. One of his main supporters was Joseph Goebbels, who was in charge of propaganda. Propaganda is like advertisements or messages designed to make people believe certain things. Goebbels made sure everyone in Germany saw posters, movies, and heard radio broadcasts that talked about how great the Nazis, Hitler's political group, were. There were others in Hitler's inner circle too. Heinrich Himmler and Rudolf Hess were two important people who helped Hitler's plans come to life. Together, these men pushed forward the beliefs of the Nazis. With time, Germany started feeling stronger. They began to ignore the rules set by the Treaty of Versailles. The world watched as Germany, like a lion breaking free from its chains, prepared to roar once more. Imagine you're in school and there are two big kids who everyone thinks will fight each other. Instead, they shockingly shake hands and promise not to fight. That's kind of what happened between Germany and the Soviet Union right before World War II. This was unexpected and made a lot of people nervous. In 1939, these two countries signed an agreement called the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. This was a promise they made to each other to stay peaceful and not attack one another. To understand why this was such a big deal, you have to know that Germany, led by Adolf Hitler, and the Soviet Union, led by Joseph Stalin, had very different ways of governing and didn't trust each other. Stalin, the leader of the Soviet Union, was smart and always thinking ahead. He knew that Hitler wasn't someone to fully trust. Hitler had big plans for Europe and wasn't shy about wanting more land and power. So, while Stalin said yes to the peace agreement, he was always careful. He knew that, like in any schoolyard, promises could be broken, especially if one of the kids was known to be a bully. The Soviet Union's top military people and the ones who talked with other countries were also very alert. They watched Germany closely because they felt that the peace between them might not last long. Before the big attack called Barbarossa, Germany and the Soviet Union said they would be friends. But deep down, they were still unsure about each other. It's like when you're not sure if someone is truly your friend or just pretending. And as history shows, their friendship did not last long. It's a reminder that promises and agreements between countries can change when leaders have different goals and desires. Let's think of Operation Barbarossa like a big, detailed plan to steal land and get rid of a way of thinking Hitler didn't like. Imagine planning a complicated treasure hunt, where every clue and step has to be perfectly thought out. That's how detailed Hitler and his generals were in planning this. Hitler wanted more space for his country, a concept he called Lebensraum. It's like when you want more room to play and spread out your toys. He also didn't like how the Soviet Union was run, as they followed something called communism, which was the opposite of what Hitler believed. So, he looked at the big land of the Soviet Union, saw its many resources, and decided he wanted it. Hitler had some cities he especially wanted to capture: Moscow, Leningrad, and Kiev. It's like having specific toys on your wish list that you really, really want. And to help him get these toys, he had a couple of top-notch planners, Generals Heinz Guderian and Erich von Manstein. These two were like the masterminds who knew how to make the plan work. The planning was intense. They thought about where to send their soldiers, what weapons to use, and how to move quickly. They even had to think about what they would do if things didn't go as planned. It was all mapped out, step by step, like a detailed game plan. Operation Barbarossa was a massive plan that Hitler came up with to take land from the Soviet Union and fight against their ideas. With his best generals and a very detailed strategy, he hoped to win this game. But as we know from history, things don't always go as planned, especially in big games like these. Germans started Operation Barbarossa on June 22, 1941. They used a strategy called Blitzkrieg, which means lightning warfare. Just like a runner who dashes ahead hoping no one can catch up, Germany wanted to move so fast that the Soviet Union wouldn't have time to properly defend itself. As the warm days of summer began, the German military, which was very advanced and organized, charged into the Soviet Union. Their goal was to move quickly, take control of important places, and surprise the Soviet troops. It was like trying to win a game by making a big move before the other team even knew what was happening. One of the key battles happened in a place called Smolensk. Here, German and Soviet soldiers faced off in really intense fights. The soldiers were brave and worked hard, trying to outdo each other in every way. But battles aren't like sports games. They're dangerous and many people get hurt. In places like Smolensk, soldiers from both the German and Soviet sides showed how tough and brave they could be, even when things were really scary. To wrap it up, Operation Barbarossa was Germany's big plan to quickly and powerfully take control of parts of the Soviet Union. They moved fast, like lightning, and had some successes, but also faced strong resistance from the Soviet soldiers. It was a test of strength, strategy, and bravery for everyone involved. But then, the story took a turn. Russia's greatest protector wasn't just its soldiers, but its freezing cold winter. As the German soldiers moved forward, the winter was like a giant wall of snow and ice stopping them. Imagine a sprinter who was running so fast, suddenly finding himself in deep snow, barely able to move. That's what happened to the Germans. Seeing this struggle, the Soviets saw their chance. A smart Soviet general named Georgy Zhukov decided to strike back. He used the snow and cold, things that the Soviets were more used to help in his plans. The Soviets, feeling a new burst of energy, started pushing the Germans back. They showed everyone that even when things are tough, they wouldn't give up. Just like in our earlier game, when things look bad for one team, they can always make a comeback with the right spirit and strategy. The big plan, Barbarossa, didn't go as Germany hoped. Just like in a game where one team gets overconfident and the other makes a comeback, the Soviets began to push back. This change was a turning point in World War II, marking the start of tough times for Germany and its allies. It taught everyone a big lesson: never underestimate the other side and always be ready to change your strategy if needed. It was like a twist in a movie where the story changes, and the heroes find new strength to fight back. In the end, Operation Barbarossa was like a big roller coaster ride with many ups and downs. It wasn't just about soldiers fighting, it was about big ideas and goals crashing into each other. The story of 1941 to 1942 teaches us that history has big twists and turns, just like our favorite movies or books. It shows how people can be super ambitious but also how they can bounce back even when things look tough. So, Barbarossa is not just history, it's a lesson about the strength of people and the surprises life can throw at us.